how to dilate points. So I'm just going to look back at the most missed questions and go back over those. Realize you can still go in and redo your quiz. So if you didn't make a 100, go back, try these again once you get a few more examples. But if you're going to plot the image of point B, so B is the point that we're moving, under a dilation, which means we're going to expand it or shrink it, about point P, with a scale factor of 1/4. First of all, if you have a scale factor less than 1, you're going to make this smaller. So in other words, we're going to take B and we're going to move it closer to P. We're going to move it actually 4 times closer to point P. And the way I do that is I'm going to multiply all of these coordinates by 1/4. So if I take, it went over 8 up 12. If I take 8 and multiply by 1/4, my new point for B prime, and that's what that little parentheses is the prime. 8 times 1/4 is 2. 12 times 1/4 is 3. So notice we made a smaller point because the scale factor was less than 1. And you would come over and plot the point 2, 3, and that point would be your answer. Second most commonly missed was this one. If you're centering around point P and you've got point A with a scale factor of 4, so in other words, we're going to make it 4 times as large. It's 2 down, so if I multiply that by 4, I want to actually move this 8 down. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and I would point that new plot that new point, and that would be my answer there. Third most commonly missed, again, you've got this with a scale factor of 2. So if we're starting at point P, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over to P. So if I multiply that by 2, I'm going to get farther away. I'm going to move right 10 instead. If it gives you the coordinate plane and it says it's centered at 0, 0, which these will be, you're just going to multiply the coordinates of these points by the scale factor of 1/2. Since it's less than 1, C prime should be closer to 0, 0. So when I multiply 0 by 1/2, I still get 1/2. When I multiply 6 times 1/2, I get 3. I'm sorry, right here. When you multiply 0 times 1/2, you're still at 0. Sorry about that. And when you multiply 6 by 1/2, you're at 3. So instead of being at 0, 6, we're going to be halfway there at 0, 3. And one more, you're at point P, scale factor 1/3, so we're going to be closer again. It looks like D is over here at 12, 9. So when I multiply each of these by 1/3, which hopefully you realize is the same thing as dividing by 3, your D prime point will be at 4, 3. So you would go from P and go over 4 down 3, and it should be 3 times closer to P than the original. But there's just a few more for you to look through. Let's see, I think I got one more. We're going to do this. You've got the point -5, 5. It's centered at the origin, scale factor of 1/2. When I multiply both of these by 1/5, C prime will be at -1, +1. And you'll see that that's 5 times closer to the origin. So there's just a few more. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're still having trouble, reach out by DM, and I'll be glad to answer those. Hope y'all are doing well. Bye-bye.